Hi, middle schoolers. This is the fourth time that I have recorded this video for you. I don't know why, but I'm having a really hard time with YouTube today. So, let's see if this one's working. I'm going to show you a few techniques really quickly of shading. So, I appreciate all the object drawings that you guys showed me last week. You did a great job. I noticed that you were having a little bit of a hard time going very dark on your shadows. I know it's scary to go dark, but that's what gives it oomph. So let me just go over a few techniques and I'll introduce a new technique for you, okay? So the first one, my favorite, is the shading technique. And I actually finally have a real live egg here. And you guys know how I love to do eggs. So the first thing that you want to do is just, and of course you don't have to do eggs, it's just a fun shade. So I am creating the shape here. I've got a H pencil, which is a really hard pencil, so it's not super dark. And then my light is coming in from this direction. So you see how it's much brighter there, and then it goes to dark. So I like with the darkest edge first, and I use the circling technique. So I'm going around and around with my pencil. And I keep looking at my sample, which is wiggling because my dining room table is wonky. So I'm just going around and around. Do you see how really rich and dark that graphite is? Again, you just keep going back and forth. Remember the shape that you're shading. Try to keep that circular motion going a little bit lighter because I noticed that the light is really coming across here. Now, I doubt that a lot of you have blenders at home like we have in the art room, but Q-tips work just as well for a blender. So just take it just like you would the blender, and you can use this technique to kind of really work that graphite out. All right? So you can see how it's going from dark to light, just like in my sample. If you can see the egg, I don't know if you can see it in the video. So that's the circular graphite blending technique. Obviously, I'm going really fast. I love shading eggs. You guys know that about me. So this is something that now that you have possibly more time at home, you can keep practicing. The more you practice, the better you're going to get. I've put a couple of samples up of like an eye that's blended. Water is really fun to shade. Glass is a great challenge. I know a few of you in your still life work have shaded glass, so give that a try. Okay, that one's pretty cool. So that's one technique. Another technique, I'll just use it on the same page. Let's draw another egg over here, is a technique called stippling. Now, a lot of people enjoy stippling because it is highly repetitive, so it's a little bit calming. Same idea, you have to look at your object, right? So darker on this side, lighter on this, because my light source is coming in. You can see from my fingers, see where the shadows are. So stippling is just a series of dots. I'm using one of the micro pens because, again, I have them. You can use just an ink pen. You can use a felt tip marker. And you're creating depth and value change by how closely together you put the dots. Side of my form to be dark, I've got to put a lot of dots close together. This is a tedious sort of method, but it's really nice. It's sort of like the old newspapers, like the dot matrix sort of printing. So the closer the dots, the darker. So you can tell that this would take much longer to shade than this, but it is sort of calming. And if you want to drive somebody nuts with the tapping, that's a good way. Another method, and this will be the last one that I show today, is cross hatching. Now, this one I'm still working on. it sort of emulates like old Renaissance prints. So cross-hatching is a series of lines that, like the name implies, cross one another. The closer together the line, of course, the darker the value. So this one's a little trickier, but I like the quality of the shading in this. So again, I'm kind of doing smaller lines and spreading them out more as the light comes in. So see what you could come up with. Thank you guys for showing me your showing me the work that you did. I liked some of the objects were very, very cool and very appropriate for the time. Noah had sent in like a shaded thermometer, which was funny with the coronavirus, very appropriate for the time. So that's the lesson for this week. Hope you enjoy.